Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fableспhere. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I would like to welcome you guys. My favorite superhero is Superman. I love Superman, one of my favorites. Yes, DC, Marvel, but this is DC. It's freaking fantastic. Tom McDonald releases Superman. I haven't watched it yet. I'm in a bit of a new setup here. I don't know what's going on. It feels different. Very, very different. But anyway, I'm gonna kick off with Tom McDonald's Superman.
Okay, wait. I want to listen to this again. I've already reacted to this.
But really, you've done it already.
I know I have, but I want to do it again. So let's.
Should we let him in? What do you think? Should we let him in?
Yeah. Let's
let him
get
in?
out my chair.
Okay.
Get out my chair.
We're swinging about. One second.
That's mine. Okay. So I've already reacted to this. You haven't heard this yet.
Nope.
So
let's crack on. I want to hear this.
yeah. So
Tom McDonald with the guitar. What's going on here? And why does he have a nuke in the background?
So I think he's going for a bit of an acoustic version over here. It's about as much of a spoiler alert as I'm going to give you.
Okay, but again, why is the nuke in the background?
Bro, it's America, bro. Nukes, bro. That's what they do, man. Oppenheimer, bro. Come on, let's get with
Boom.
Let's.
This is gonna be a bomb of a song. I can feel it already.
Yeah, let's rock and roll. Okay, let's see what we got. Let's go. I'm actually not gonna say much because I've already reacted to it. I've had my say on this. Let's see what your. Oh wait, let me just give you a bit of a microphone.
That'll be like yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
All right, cool. Let's rock it off. You ready? I'm ready. Let's go.
Unlock my phone and watch the world die. They crying to God while they run for their lives. Blood in the streets, bombs in the sky. Goodbye, I hope you had.
Bro, why are you looking at me, bro? Look at the fucking video.
This is Tom McDonald.
I know it's Tom McDonald. Stop looking at me. Look at the video. I'm looking at you.
What just happened? Because I'm staring at you because I'm going, what is going on? This is Tom McDonald, dude. He sounds phenomenal, man.
Let's go.
Unlock my phone and watch the world die. They crying to God while they run for their lives. Blood in the streets, bombs in the sky. Goodbye, I hope you had dreams come true. I hope they see in their crosshairs what I see in you. And I hope and I pray, 'cause it's all I can do. I don't understand who is good or bad. They don't care as long as you got oil sands. We need something fast, we need something bad. More than guns and tanks. Where is Superman? Oh, where is Superman? Oh.
Has he done anything like this before? I mean, you know Tom McDonald way better than I do.
So going back to when he first started, he's put out a lot of songs like this with beautiful songs. I don't know if you ever heard Wish.
No.
By Tom McDonald's. Beautiful, beautiful song.
I've heard more of his rap version
yes,
sort of
yes,
style
John.
music. So this is why this is very...
You haven't gone down the rabbit hole yet.
I must say, like, he's got a phenomenal damn voice.
I like the texture of his voice.
Yeah. It's like smooth. He doesn't overdo it. He doesn't push it.
And it's got a bit of a raspiness to it, which I really enjoy. But if you're going back to his like old stuff, where you haven't heard Castles. Castles is unbelievable. Wish is unbelievable.
I must actually dig into him a bit.
Have you ever heard Hang? I think it's called Hang On.
Hang On?
With him on the road.
Yeah, I think I heard that. Yeah, but I haven't seen the music video yet. I think I've heard that. It's one of the times when you introduced me to him. I was listening to him in the car.
Yeah.
So that's about it. It's not. But this is
yeah.
a very new side of Tom McDonald that I've never seen.
Okay, so for me, knowing quite a lot of his discography, this is his best track for me.
Seriously.
By a land mile.
No, but it is great, and I love the way when he mentions Superman, he looks up. This is very cool.
It's awesome.
And he mentioned God straight from the beginning, so it caught me.
Yeah, so let's just go back again. Let's go.
We need something bad, more than guns and tanks. Where is Superman? Oh, where is Superman? Oh, where is Superman? turn on the news and watch the world fight. Thousands of men making widows of wives. I'll be home soon.
That line is insane. I turn on the news and I watch the world fight. Thousands of men making
widows.
Widows of women.
Widows. Sorry. Yeah. I mean, you remember where he came on and he did that little spiff. He did that little video where you were saying what his generation was like in comparison to today's
he does
generation.
a lot of those shorts, yeah.
No, that was brilliant, bro. I agree to absolutely everything he actually said.
Yeah, I agree with 99% of what this guy says.
Absolutely everything he said. I don't agree with his clothing that much.
I don't mind it.
I mean, it's not bad.
I don't mind. It's a bit loud.
Some of it is like,
it's a bit loud.
You know what I mean? But some of it is
it's a bit
sick.
loud. But again, like you and I are quite conservative, like in terms of like how we dress and shit.
He's
like
also
that,
conservative. I mean, you
no.
know,
I'm talking. No.
I mean, it's not like he has tattoos.
Not
on his face
conservative in terms of like sort of political ideologies and worldview. I'm talking about conservative in terms of style.
Okay,
like we're like conservative.
Yeah.
Like
well, look at our shirts, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
like
green.
there's we don't lay labels and things like that. I'm on a billboard for a fucking brand.
Except for his shoes.
Yeah, okay.
Shoes
okay.
we do. Shoes we do.
Yeah.
Shoes.
Let's not go down into my shoe fetish.
No.
Let's not go down my shoe fetish. But yeah, okay, cool. Let's go.
I turn on the news and watch the world fight. Thousands of men making widows of wives. I'll be home soon, walked off in the night. Goodbye, I will remember you. I know it's true to be shot and they're men just like you, but I hope and I pray, 'cause that's all I can do.
I like that line over there where it's shoot or be shot, because it's like, naturally from a human perspective, you don't want to be killing anybody else. No. Right? You conscripted into doing something like that. You're conscripted into fighting wars for people, which in today's you're fighting wars for special interests. But at the end of the day, like, you go and you're tasked to do that kind of thing, and the guy on the other side is tasked to do the same thing. And it's like, nothing about that person, you know nothing about his ideology, nothing about his family. In like a different world, he would have invited you into his house to break bread.
And this is what like, if I'm honest, like, to be completely, it like breaks my soul a little bit, because you know what the thing is, like you said, you don't know the guy on the other side, yet it's kill or be killed.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So eventually your choice is taken away.
It's my life or his. It's
100%. So it's like, if I don't pull this trigger, I don't see my family.
And he's doing the same for his
thing, which is actually quite idiotic if you think about it.
No, it's crazy. It's
I always say an eye for an eye leaves everybody blind.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. I mean, wars have never been something celebrated. Well,
no. You know what crazy? What's crazy thing about humanity is humanity actually yearns for being together. So they yearn for company, and it was actually quite prevalent in World War II, where they would fight, and then it would come like an armistice day, which would be like Christmas. And the opposing sides who were fighting stopped for 24 hours for Christmas, and they would share a cigarette together.
I remember that, yeah.
It's like that is the human nature. It's like that's what they're there to do. But on the front lines, their humanity comes in for a day. And in that sort of moment, in that sort of 24-hour moment, like, you got to think to yourself, the other guy looking at the other guy is like, why do I want to kill? What am I doing?
You'd actually be my mate,
Exactly. But at the end of the day, they are just, it's become sort of motoric. They're put into these positions where they have to do that kind of thing to defend either of their ideologies. And not to say some of the ideologies is wrong. Nobody wanted Nazism to spread around the world, and that needed to be stopped. But they, in their sphere, were indoctrinated into that. They were defending the plight of their people, and even though it was wrong, they never saw that. They were living the lie. Do you know what I mean? So it just depends on what side of that equation you're on.
What side of the spectrum you're on.
But the majority of wars today, you're on the side of the political elite's equation to make more money through a military complex. So you're killing for somebody to become profitable. You're not killing to rid the world of an evil.
That's what grills me. In humanity, for me, people search for value and purpose. at the end of the day. And if they don't find purpose in certain things, they find value in other things.
Correct.
And the thing is today, I mean, people are profiting of what's happening right now.
Yeah.
The thing is, you're not taking it to your grave. You're going to be charred by worms at the end of the day. So you're not taking anything with you.
My grandmother always used to say, the last suit you'll ever wear won't have pockets. It's an amazing suit. You can't take anything with you, so what's the point?
No, 100%. This is the thing. So what are you going to leave for the world? You're going to leave a Hitler behind, or what's the story?
But that's what we used to fight against. We used to fight against greater evil, where today it seems like
it's that good is fighting good.
It seems like not even good is fighting good. I just think that what's actually happening is it's just everything's a money laundering operation for the elite.
Okay, yeah, but you've gone way off. You said you're not going to say anything, and I'm supposed to comment.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so can I just listen to it?
'Cause that's all I can do. I don't understand who is good or bad. They don't care as long as you got oil sands. We need something fast, we need something bad, more than guns and tanks. Where is Superman? Oh, where is Superman?
Talking about Superman in terms of where is Superman, something like a greater force to come and actually deal with that kind of thing. And I was just thinking about it in the terms of how can you have Superman in this world coming to solve anything when you've got the political elite that are going around and literally lacquering everything with a kryptonite paint. Do you know what I mean?
That's brilliant.
So,
I love that analogy.
That's what's crazy is these guys are the ones that we can solve this. We can be, because all of us have got a supernatural ability to actually solve things with love and without having to hate one another. But when the political elite will go and they'll paint everything and they'll lacquer it with kryptonite, how is anybody everyone's powerless?
Yeah, it depends what you give power to at the end of the day, for me specifically. So, there's always the good and evil. I mean, when we were kids, we used to watch cartoons where the devil's on this shoulder and the angel's on this shoulder, and you don't know where to listen.
Yeah.
And that is exactly the fundamentals of the gospel in scripture as well. It's the exact same thing. So if you read anything from Genesis or Jeremiah or anything like that, all the way to the last book of Revelations, it's exactly the same thing. Yeah. It's teaching you that there's a roadmap to good, a roadmap to love, and then there's the other part of it. Correct. So where do you want to be? So in essence, if you follow a roadmap, you're going to live a life maybe that is much, much harder. But I just love the way sorry, I know I'm going
No.
I love the way the Bible starts, and it says in the first 4 words, it says, "In the beginning, God." Yeah. And you can stop right there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he gave he gave Adam and Eve, he gave man free will to see how this plays out.
Correct.
He said, eat from every other tree but that one. What did we do as human beings? Why not that one?
Correct.
It's a curiosity. Yeah. So the thing is, then he said, I'll give you free will. And then he wrote and he said, you have a savior.
But there's a consequence to it.
But there's a consequence to everything.
So you've got agency over your own existence, but there's a consequence.
But there's a consequence to every single decision.
And that's something that you'd wish for sort of the younger generation to understand, because you're going more into this sort of secular ideology where they're trying to take the Bibles out of school. They're trying to take anything that's meaning. Correct, they're actually doing it.
They're doing it.
It's dreadful, they're trying to create this secular ideology where it's like, and the reason why they're doing that is because they need you. Okay, so you can attest to this. So if you want to sin, like you've got no restraint, you want to go and chase your temptations and your decadences, right? And you have control over it, but you're choosing to not have control over it. And you just want to go and do those hedonistic things. What do? Because when you do those hedonistic things, you feel guilty. You feel guilty when you sin. So in order for them to not feel guilty, they need to take away religion. They need to take away standards. Because if you have a moral standard that you live by, right, you're going to feel guilty when you sin. If you remove that moral standard, there's nothing to feel guilty about, because you don't believe in anything holding you to judgment. So that's why they remove it, and that's why it's secular. Therefore, I don't need to have any level of restraint. I can just chase all of my cheap happiness, cheap decadences, and not have to feel guilty for it.
But this is where we are in the world. It's temporary satisfactions.
100%.
Number one. Number two, everything must fall right now on my lap. I don't really have to work for it. It must just happen for me. You know what I mean? How's it going to happen? Oh, no, we don't know, but it's going to happen. It's not going to happen. No. Gone are the days of, oily, greasy hands and
elbow grease.
Elbow grease is out of the picture. You know what I mean? And I mean, knowing you for 3/4 of my life, and me, I mean, we used to hard work. We used to hard work. If you don't work hard, nothing happens. If you don't put in the time, nothing happens. If you don't learn something, you will be stupid. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that knowledge is power. It's exactly that.
Yeah.
But from a moral perspective, look, to go back to him, this is phenomenal. I still, you know, he's talking about the world, and he's obviously talking about he doesn't know what's good and bad and stuff like that. And I'm starting to get the picture why there's a
because you just don't know what to believe anymore. That's what he's trying to say.
That's the thing. You know, I always say, you know, if you have nothing to aim at, so if you don't have a target, you might as well fire arrows just around you, because you're not aiming at nothing. So that moral value that you speak about is exactly what I'm talking about. So I've got a moral value of I follow biblical principles to the best possible ability. Am I perfect at it? No, absolutely not. But I live my life every day and teach my son, obviously, to follow those biblical principles, because it will make his heart light, his soul light. He won't
also,
have that resentment and guilty conscience.
Correct, but it also puts guardrails for his existence.
Absolutely.
That he's not just floating off into the abyss and going into these absolutely radical things.
Absolutely.
Where, like, going into delusion, where 2 + 2 isn't 4 anymore. It's
and that's the absolutely perfect thing that you said, the delusion and the deceivement that's happening in nowadays.
Yeah.
Where you will say,
veiled with compassion at the same time.
That's the worst
The
part.
snakes in the grass.
100%. So you have actually the supportive crowd that is going, hey man, you do what you want to do. You're fine.
Yeah,
everything
of course.
will be good.
Do
man.
you?
Yeah, but I've done this, I've burnt this building. Yeah, well, good on you, man.
Yeah.
You live freely.
You know, there
won't be any consequences.
The craziest statements, I know, we're hijacking this one over here for a bit of a chat.
Sorry,
but the thing is, you know, you always hear that, and I've heard it throughout my life, and so have you know, going into different parts of your life, you know, going into nightclubs in the darkness of night, you go, and people say, oh, you know, you got to try everything once. So you tend to think to yourself, okay, like, should I try put 9-inch nails in my eyes once? It's like, I don't have to try everything once. It's like, I don't need.
Maybe I should choose some glass.
Maybe I should. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like the catalyst to kickstarting something that's down the devil's sort of playground.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like, if you think to yourself, the devil's never going to come for you when you're at your lowest. Why would he? Because you're already where he wants you to be. He's always going to come to you when you're at your highest.
Yeah, I've got a take on that. So yes and no. So happiness, especially under constitution of a marriage or whatever the case might be, that's where he actually comes for the weakest. So usually if your wife is now starting to lack faith or whatever, that's where he'll hit. If you're starting to lack
he'll find the gap.
He'll find a gap. So he will always find, he doesn't want you to be happy. Yeah. If you're doing all the wrong things in life, he's a happy chap.
And the crazy thing
he will
is
let you be, and he'll support it.
A lot of people will argue that point in terms of, they'll say like, well, there's no such thing as the devil. And I'm like, tell that to an addict. Tell that to a drug addict. Tell that to a heroin addict. Tell that to anyone 100%. That's addicted to something.
And then people
it's like, it doesn't have to be this figure that's down in hell. The devil's in here.
Do you know
what I mean?
The devil in your heart and mind.
Correct,
you know
exactly.
What I mean?
So that's what I'm saying, just not to conflate,
life.
because a lot of people kind of think.
No.
And that's
this
why I
is
always
not
say,
the guy with the horns and the tail.
And that's why I say the greatest thing the devil ever did was to convince people that he doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's
look at it this way, and I'm sorry to mention it in this video, whether it's going to cause a stir, but you know, I say whatever. I mean, he got to a point that he said, okay, well, what's the biggest thing I can do? What's the biggest thing in humanity I can do to really put some damage onto souls? How about I take away their identity and confuse them where they don't know whether they
Correct.
died? I mean, look at it.
Correct.
Look at it.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
If you look back in history for the last
and remove
1,000 years,
remove truth from the argument.
Exactly. The truth shall set you free. No, you need to be in shackles.
Correct.
And it's always that, you understand. It's easier to go for temptation.
Oh, absolutely.
It's easier to hit
no, there's no virtue. That's what I'm saying when they let's sit there and they say, oh, it's brave for you to go and chase all of these hedonistic things. No, it's not brave to do that. That's the easiest route you can take. Where the actual moral value lies, the virtue lies in the restraint. Yeah. So me as a married man, there's lots of beautiful women out there that I could look at and they'd be interested in myself. Me getting with them and then people sitting there, or at least me cheating on my wife and actually getting with that person and sitting there and saying, well, you know, unfortunately I couldn't help it and I gave in, and someone actually sort of attesting that and say, you know what, that's fine, it's okay, like, you know, you gave into your, no, there's no virtue in that. Don't take that as a virtue. Me restraining myself from doing that level of restraint, that's virtue.
That's virtue.
Exactly.
Because you know what, I wouldn't be a mate. If I had to come up to you and go, "Oh, bro, it's okay. It happens."
Of course,
You know what?
exactly.
It happens. I would come to you and say, "You're a complete moron.
Yeah.
What have you done?"
Exactly.
Do you understand what
You've
I mean?
wrecked your family.
And oh no, don't put him down. No, I'm going to put him down because that's what he needs to hear. A real friend tells you exactly how it is.
Correct.
This is the truth. Whether you don't like to hear it,
Oh, that's on you. I mean,
That's on
really
you.
matter. Okay,
Okay,
just carry on.
Where's Superman? Oh, where is Superman? Soon you won't need a TV or an iPhone to see, because you will look out the window and boom. I don't understand who is good or bad. They don't care as long as you got oil sands. We need something fast, we need something bad, more than guns and tanks. Where is Superman? Oh, where is Superman? Oh.
I love that he's looking up to, like, where is Superman, but it's almost like looking up is looking up to God.
he's looking up to God.
That's what I'm saying. I like
100%.
that. It's a
That's
big
why
symbolic
he
point.
started with God.
Yeah, correct.
His
Yeah.
lyrics started.
So
That's
it's a
why
very-
I got caught credits and I looked at you straight away. I'm
Yes,
like,
exactly.
well, hold on.
No, it's a very symbolic gesture that
Absolutely
he's doing right
unbelievable.
there, you know? Go back.
Superman, oh, where's Superman? Oh, where is Superman?
Oh, that's insane.
Yeah.
Superman finally came. Bro, that's
I actually like the sound of the nuclear bomb going off
Explosion.
in the distance as he ends that.
because he says what he say?
It's
I
either
wonder
that
on your
or
phone,
Superman Sonic
iPhones-
Boom.
Yeah.
It's just one of those.
I think it was Sonic Boom. man.
Let's just go
No,
to
that was a
Sonic
nuke,
Boom
that
one.
was a
Yeah.
nuke, but let's
Yeah.
just say it was. Yeah. I love the way that he says, "You won't see me on what is it, iPhone or TV." We look
Yeah,
out
you
the
just
window
look out the window and the news is
Boom.
there. Look, let's hope that MAD still holds in place, because anybody would be crazy that mutual assured destruction in terms of, like, let's hope that people aren't so stupid and juvenile to do something as fucking stupid as that, but I don't think so. I genuinely don't think. I don't think nuclear weapons are on the greatest risk over here. Still, I think conventional war absolutely is, and I think AI down the line is going to be far more dangerous.
But at the same time, I don't know. I don't want to say I disagree with you because I don't know.
Well, I can never say for
political
certain.
structures,
Like,
but
I can never say
I
for
don't-
certain. You
I'm
can never
just-
say for certain
I'm
because
just,
there's
I'm just
someone
looking
crazy.
at what happened in Glasgow. Okay, I would never in my million years think in my lifetime I would see massacre like that. You understand? And I also said, nah,
You mean
Nah.
what happened
not in Israel.
In Israel, yeah.
You
So,
know what
yeah.
I mean? With Hamas.
It's a very complex.
Whether it's complex or not, I'm saying from a
situation.
humanity perspective.
Yeah, from a
I
humanity
don't care
perspective,
who you
100%,
are.
yeah.
I just look at it and I go, that would never. I mean, people
The
could
problem,
never do
you
that.
see, the problem is with that situation over there is the fact that people would come out and see a massacre like that and actually celebrate in the streets. And my issue,
that's
so my issue
a
is
disgrace.
literally hours after that happened, to have people in the Western world celebrating the massacre of children, women, and men in cold blood, in terms of civilians in the street, to come out and celebrate that. Do you know what I mean? As if that's not something that's painful. Let me ask you a question. How many Russians do you see celebrating in the street that Ukrainians are dying? None. No, I'm saying that you don't see that.
No.
How many people are out in the street celebrating that bombs are killing Gazan children? No one. No one's celebrating that. No one's out in the street saying, "Oh yeah, carry on."
It shouldn't be.
But
The
I'm saying,
people that are
from a
celebrating
humanity
is a
standpoint,
proof of the demonic takeover in people's lives.
But this is what I'm
that
saying.
That they've sold their soul to the devil.
exactly.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And that's what and people can believe it or they can't believe it. I believe,
Yeah.
I truly believe, because it's biblical. There's a spirit behind everything. There's a spirit. We've got a body, a fleshly body, and we've got a spiritual body where our feelings come from, where our consciousness comes from, where everything comes from.
Correct.
If you start questioning these things and going 2,000 years, there is so much evidence of Christ. that it's irrefutable. I mean, I don't know how many scientists went out to prove in 2016, I think it is, that Jesus Christ never existed, that God doesn't exist, and about 98% of them became Christian.
You're going to have
because eventually you're going to give it in. You're going to give in and go, okay, there's no ways to this. They can't. They still can't explain the human self.
I have the argument in terms of like, there's no such thing as an atheist. At the end of the day, you're gonna believe in something.
If you're an atheist, you believe in something.
You believe in something, correct? So the thing is that you're gonna believe in something. You might not make a higher power your God, but you will make something your God. You will make the mundane. You'll make the mundane your God. You'll make money.
Whatever you look highest to becomes your God.
Correct. So exactly. So that becomes a belief of yours.
Look, I want to apologize.
If we don't rise before we actually end this with the Sunni, if we don't arise above ourselves and worship something, we are worshipping beings at the end of the day. Yeah. And if we do not worship something greater than ourselves, we're going to worship ourselves in the mundane. You know what I mean? And that's a recipe for disaster. That's what actually happens. We start to erode because we become an echo chamber of ourselves, of our ego and our pride.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? So we need to rise above that and actually worship something that is of, and you'll agree with this, of service to others.
Well, that's how I was just about to say that.
Exactly.
So I'm saying when you actually take a step back and you actually start caring about your neighbor as yourself, as it says in the Bible, and you start caring about other people out there, you now have, I wouldn't say a moral value, but I always say, isn't it weird that you always feel so good giving somebody a gift that you know they're going to like than receiving?
Yeah.
Like I've got a problem with
receiving.
It's almost
cellular.
I've got an issue with receiving. Every time I receive, I feel awkward. I don't, but when I'm giving, I'm like, open.
I'd love to strip that down psychologically because we'll be here forever.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, guys.
Anyway,
honestly, if I'm being frank and honest right now, he hijacked my show. Okay, in my place. I know you think this is all his setup. It's
all
not.
A facade.
It's all a facade. It's all green screened. No, I'm joking, guys. We actually at full slide. Thank you so very much for watching.
Yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Sorry we hijacked it for a bit of a
sorry.
chat.
I want to say sorry to Tom McDonald because we came here with like Superman and just like swept him a little bit.
He'll understand.
But it's a good thing because he knows that song drove emotion.
Exactly.
And that's phenomenal. And if I may say, that's the best track that I've seen from Tom McDonald by far. And how's that? Most simplistic. Archie, this. Okay, there's a nuke, but besides that,
I'm also a sucker for the acoustic as well.
There's
nothing
like acoustic.
Exactly. So
absolutely.
Anyway, guys. Thank you
so
very much. We gave you a second take. Actually, we gave you Alex's take. I was just here along for the ride, but
I didn't even know you did this song, to be honest.
Only when you last night.
Only because, truth be told, he says
there was a girl by the name of Stacy that asked me 17 pleases in her actual request. She said please, like literally 17 times.
So 17 the number. So if they ask 16, you don't know.
It's funny that you say that because I actually said it in my reaction. I said on the 16th please, I was going to be like, no, I'm not doing it. But since you went to the 17th, that's what I'm saying. That was my threshold.
So I did it. Yeah. So Phil actually said, do a reaction. Perfect. And then I told him, I shouted what I'm doing a reaction to, and as I started, I saw him, and then, he hijacked it.
It is what it is. Anyway,
God bless, guys.
Stay safe.
Stay safe. Love you all. Peace out.
Peace.